much indeed, and let's get straight to the full lineups. London Towers, hometown Towers, first of all, and they are going to go with Tamir Berkovic wearing 4, Brown, Ogunjimi, Robinson, Lewis, Baldy wears 9, Austin 10, Depesh 11, Hamilton wears 12, and Roger Duhaney wears 15. Let's see who the coaches are going to go with for the London Towers. It will be the regular starting 5 of Carl Brown wearing 5, Robinson 7, Lewis 8, Austin wears 10, and James Hamilton wears 12. And the full lineup now for the Birmingham Bullets. It will be Gittins, Dorsey, Perkins, Sims, Kirk, Lloyd, Clive Allen wears 12, H.L. Coleman wears 13, Chris Haslam wears 14, and Fab Flournoy wears number 20. The starting 5 for the Birmingham Bullets will be Dorsey wearing 6, Reggie Kirk wearing 9, Nigel Lloyd wears 11, 13 is H.L. Coleman, and 14 is Chris Haslam. Well, this is the ball game. Kevin Cadle and Mike Finger have joined me here at the commentary position. Kevin, let me ask you first of all, what sort of a game do you think this one's going to be?
Pretty up and down type basketball game. You have two teams that think about defense, do a good job on the offensive end, so it's going to be a competitive type battle. Dorsey
has the first 2 on the assist from Nigel Lloyd. Mike Finger, tell me, what instructions did you give your guys going into this one?
Really, we just prepared for the basketball game like any other game that we would, and just go out and compete and battle like we normally would in any game. Not anything different with the fact that I'm going to be out.
Carl Brown has the ball to Danny Lewis. Shot clock is down to 8. Danny Lewis on the ball. Lewis gets a high screen from Robinson. Still Lewis. Shot clock is down to 2. Robinson gets it off. Doesn't get there. Rebound Dorsey. This is what the bookies say. Birmingham favorites by 1. Nigel for no points. 1 point win is what the bookies say for the Birmingham Bullets. We'll see how that goes over the next 40 minutes or so. Neville Austin posting up. Ball is with Hamilton for no points.
He's the guy that has to come today and give us a big basketball game on the offensive and on the defensive end.
Dorsey kicks it back to Reggie Kirk. Big crowd here at the Wembley Bowl making a lot of noise. Nigel has it. Nice screen and roll. H.L. Coleman for 3 is good. 0-5.
That's a nice shot for us. If H.L. can get off to a good start and hit that perimeter jumper, it's going to help us out.
You know, we have in our game plan, it would be to, you know, if H.L. takes 10 shots and he shoots 3 or 4 of them from the three-point line, it would be a benefit for us. So we want to make sure to try to keep him outside the, you know, the more we can keep him on the three-point line for us, the better it will be.
Okay. Well, we'll see if the Towers are able to keep H.L. away from the basket. Ball coming in from the end line. Neville Austin has it. Neville with the spin move. Nice move, Neville. Doesn't get there. Rebound, Chris Haslam.
That's another thing that we really tried to focus on in practice this week was doing a good job on the rebounds, and so far we've done okay in that area.
Reggie's long. Haslam called for coming over the back of Robinson. Kevin, let me ask you, we don't often get the opportunity to have guys like this up here with the game going on the floor. What do you make of this Birmingham team?
I mean, from the beginning of the year, I've always thought that they were extremely talented. I think one of the things on them, when they go to the bench, they have a completely different type of bench than we have. They have a bench that comes in and gives them energy and offensive rebounding. We have a bench that comes in, gives us a little bit of height, but more offensive scoring. So, you know, completely different type of team than what we have.
Carl Brown fails with the 3. Big rebound by H.L. Coleman. There come the Bullets again with Dorsey. Dorsey with a little shake and bake, doesn't get there. I just wondered about the last call there. You're shaking your head, Coach. You think he came over the back there?
Well, I thought he called it. No comment on that, Mike.
Okay.
I'd have to say, I thought he came over the back, but I thought Dorsey charged on the initial. So which one you want?
Okay, this is what we want. Oh, that was a little... Danny Lewis gets the offensive board, still doesn't get the points. Hamilton should get the 2, and he does. Good hustling from your guys there, Coach.
Yeah, you know, that's the kind of effort that we need to have. When a shot goes up, you stay after it, you know, until we can get it going. Lewis made the play, but Hamilton came up and put the ball in the basket, which we needed to have from him. Again, I say we need to have a basketball game from Hamilton. It's imperative.
It's taken you guys 3 minutes to get a score here, Coach. Does that worry you?
No, not really. When I look at the score, I mean, they only up, a basket in reality. So, both teams are kind of struggling at this point.
Neville Austin commits his first foul. Here it is. Nice drive, nice crossover by HL. Foul called on Neville Austin. Going to the line, H.L. Coleman for 2. Well, Mike Finger, I asked Kevin about what his thoughts were on the Birmingham Bullets, so give me your thoughts on the London Towers.
Well, obviously they're a very good basketball team, and the first thing that you think of when you think of the Towers, at least in my mind, is Danny Lewis. But if you concentrate too much on Danny Lewis, the other guys on the team are going to kill you. In particular, Keith Robinson is such a versatile basketball player.
Carl Brown has the ball for the Towers. Hamilton controls it eventually and then fails with the 3, but Robinson doesn't get there. Neville Austin, big rebound, still doesn't get there, then he does.
It's a little bit frustrating in that the first couple of possessions we were doing a nice job of keeping them off the boards, and now this time, we're giving them 2 and 3 opportunities on the same possession, and we're not going to have a good chance if that continues.
Tony Dorsey has the ball. To Haslam, gets a nice screen. Nigel Lloyd, Reggie pops out, Reggie has it. Still Reggie at the top, shot clock is down to 10, Dorsey on the ball. Shot clock is at 5. Dorsey puts it up for 2 long ones. Now Danny Lewis pushes. Danny to Hamilton is good for 2.
And, what Birmingham, to me, is trying to do is deny Danny Lewis the basketball, making Carl Brown become the guy who brings the ball and pushes it down the floor. Now, on that occasion, they allow Lewis to get the ball, to get it going full steam, and we see what happens if, in this game, he can get the ball and push it up the floor.
Bullets didn't like the fact that that ball went to the London Towers. Will Jones says it was last touch Bullets. Score at the moment, 6 points to 9. Bullets lead it by 3. Carl Brown for the long 2 is good. 1-point ball game. Nigel Lloyd on the ball.
I have to say I like the game now. It's nice, smooth. Both teams are out there doing their thing on both the offensive and defensive end, doing a good job of running their patterns. And the guys seem to be playing loose. Maybe it's a case of they don't have the coaches out there, maybe thinking that we're restricting them, but they seem to definitely be playing pretty loose.
Reggie for 3 is good. Reggie Kirk knocks down the 3. I wanted to ask you this, both you guys, how much release is this on the players out there? Because both coaches, you guys, are in their faces all game. Do you think some of them are going to be more relaxed here tonight, Mike?
I think there's a chance of that. It really depends upon each coach's relationship with his team. And if you're a coach who, like you said, is in their face a lot, there may be a little element of that of, they're feeling a little bit more freedom with the coach not being there. For the most part, I think I have a pretty relaxed relationship with my guys, and so I don't know if there'll be a lot of that relaxation, but there could be that.
Haslam gives it up. And Carl Brown, backcourt violation. Yeah.
Bullets got lucky on that one there. It was going to be a sure 2-point on the transition.
Carl doesn't like the call, but you'll see, there it is. Yep. Now, boom, there it was. That's it, backcourt violation. Nigel Lloyd on the ball for the Bullets. Reggie Kirk throws it away. This is going to be Towers' ball.
Big possession right now. We need to come up with a nice basket, get other guys involved in the offensive end. I think, one of the things that, for me, has impressed so far is going to the offensive boards and ball movement. We've been coming down, moving the basketball, instead of guys just sitting there just dribbling, holding the ball. We've been able to get 3 or 4 passes each series, and that's going to have to continue to be the strength of us.
Robinson down low. Great move, stripped by Dorsey.
Nice
Ball
job
to
of
come in
Tony.
from the end line.
Sorry about that, Mike. Nice job of Tony sinking down to help in there. Keith was taking it at HL, and Tony just reached in and was able to slap the ball away.
Carl Brown for the long three is good. Carl Brown has stepped up his game over the last few weeks.
You know, he has. After we sat down and had a meeting after we lost to Himmel, you know, him and most of the guys, you know, decided that they need to get out there and start playing to their potential because they were out there basically wasting the season away. So, you know, I think he's one of the main guys that has stepped up, but he could always play basketball. It was a case of him getting out there and getting it done.
Nigel doesn't get there. Dorsey has the offensive board and the points. Big double screen at the top set there, Coach.
Yeah, that was a set play that we like to do to try and get Nigel a three-pointer. But the thing that I like about that play is finally we got an offensive rebound. And I haven't seen the stats, but it looks that's the first offensive rebound I can remember in a long time.
Nice move by Neville Austin on the post. Comes back with the points.
You know, I like on our offensive end the way we're attacking them on the inside, getting the ball inside to our post people, seeing what they can do, seeing that they're out there trying to make it happen in the post, and which allows us to go get offensive rebounds. We've been able to get 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, mainly because of
Let me stop you here, Kevin. There's going to be a talking to between Carl Brown and Nigel Lloyd and Will Jones. Will Jones had a few words earlier with Nigel, and now he's having a real go. Will making it nice and early.
Those referees interfering again. No, and that's the coach he's talking to. Guys better watch what he says out there.
What happens if he gets a T? Is that a coach technical?
Finger gets to go back down.
Ball coming in from the sideline. HL to put it in. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dorsey has it to Nigel Lloyd. Nigel calls the play. Now let me ask you this, Kevin. But for the Bullets, Nigel and Dorsey are out there. But for your coaching situation, Andre is on the bench. Which would you have preferred? Big rebound. Who's got the ball? Towers have the ball.
You know, both of them are strange situations because, you know, it's all about who's the most. There we go again, offensive rebound again.
Woo! Neville Austin.
It's all about the comfort level. Those guys have used to been playing with Nigel's always been like a coach on the floor anyway for them. So there it is. Watch the nice follow-up by Nev, and the ball hangs around the rim. But, you know, for us, it's going to be a completely different situation with Andre out there as far as being on the bench.
Foul is called on Hamilton, I think. Yes, it is. Towers have the lead for the first time, 15-14. Fab Flournoy coming into the ball game. Now, Fab is a guy that brings a lot of energy into your team, Coach Mike Finger.
That's right, and hopefully right now he's going to bring in some rebounding as well. We're not doing anything on the offensive glass, and the Towers are getting every offensive rebound on the missed shots. So hopefully Fab can help us out in that area.
Roger Duhaney into the ball game for you. Is this your decision, Coach, or is this one he took with Andre?
Hey, man, so the basketball league doesn't think I have any influence. I want to turn this telephone off that I have right here now. I didn't have anything to do with Roger Duhaney coming into the game. Well, but, you know, it's the coach out there. That's who he feels the guy that can help us right now. Hopefully it's a smart decision.
Well, Coach, I didn't know Coach knew sign language. I see him doing all his hand signals down to the coach on the floor.
It's the versatility.
What's going on?
It's the versatility of a coach here, Mike.
Dorsey knocks down the 2. It's that telepathy that you've got with your guys, Cadle, that we're worried about. Well, let's see how it goes. 1-point lead for the Bullets. Danny Lewis has the ball. Roger Duhaney working along the baseline. Carl Brown. Danny Lewis. Shot clock is at 10. Neville has the ball. Carl Brown keeps it alive. Shot clock is at 5. Duhaney for 2 is short. Rebound, Reggie Kirk.
Good job of team defense by the Bullets that time. We had some guys flying out. Nigel went to double team in the post a little bit, and everybody was able to cover up and get the rebound finally.
Fab Flournoy on the ball at the top with a lob pass to Dorsey. Dorsey working on Duhaney, and Dorsey comes back with the 2. Out to a 3-point lead for the Bullets. Duhaney. Neville Austin doesn't give it back to Carl. Inside the final minute of the first. Whips it around to Carl Brown. Knocks down a long 2. Assists Danny Lewis.
And if I'm sitting here looking at it from a coaching point, I like everything about this series. Good ball movement, penetration by Danny. Find his partner in crime, Carl Brown, for the nice, solid jump shot.
Now, let me ask you this. If you were down coaching, would you be equally happy, do you think?
I would think right now, because it's a good basketball game. You know, both teams are doing their thing. And, you know, until somebody breaks it, you know, I have to go ahead and say this is what we want.
Roger Duhaney takes a second shot, doesn't get there. Nigel Lloyd has the ball, and 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds left to play in the first. Bullets here should hold for the final shot. Dorsey at the top. 17 points to 18. Dorsey, little shaken, big, working again on Duhaney, kicks it out to Reggie Kirk for three. Oh, all string, and there it is, the end of the first. Great start to the basketball game by both teams, both coaches seeming to do a good job. But at the break, it is 17 points to the hometown London Towers, 21 to the visiting Birmingham Bullets. Join us for the second quarter right after this. Happy with the way the Bullets have gone so far?
Well, I guess I'm happy with the score, but to be honest with you, I'm not too happy with the job that we've been doing on in terms of rebounding. We've been giving up way too many points on second shots by the Towers, and that's going to have to change if we're going to hope to win the basketball game.
Kevin, you've been very happy with the way you guys have been looking, but you're down by a few here, 17-21.
Yeah, you know, I think offensively, I'm pleased with the type of basketball that we play, because we play together offensively. Then on the opposite side of the floor, we'll also play defense, and that's been the key for us throughout the season.
Bullets are 4 for 5. Towers 7 for 18. You've taken 18 shots already. Wow. And 3 3-pointers down for the Bullets as well. We got the boards. Let's take a look at what's happening on the boards. There we are. Fairly close, nothing big there, and 3 turnovers in the first quarter.
The 3 turnovers, something that we wanted to try and avoid and limit this game, and then there's those offensive rebounds I was talking about. I can't believe it's only 6. I know on 2 different occasions it seemed like they had 3, so that's a conservative estimate on my opinion.
It's the stats man. In the ball game for the first time, Marco Baldi. Baldi will jump against H.L. Coleman.
Looks like the Towers got Paul Depichin as well, so that'll be an interesting matchup.
And the Bullets come up with the ball. Fab has it. Yeah, Paul Depish into the ball game for the London Towers. Depish, of course, one of the finest three-point shooters in the British game. Dorsey loses it, then gets it back. And then Dorsey catches Robinson wrong-footed and knocks down the 2.
You know, that's something there is, you know, Keith almost comes up with the steal, but I don't know how long that, you know, for us defensively that we want to stay with that matchup there.
What move would you be making? Who would you put on Dorsey?
You'd have to go with either Lewis or Paul Depish versus Robinson. Robinson is, you know, he's not able to deal with somebody with that speed and quickness.
Baldi has it. Robinson posting up. Danny Lewis gets it down low to Robinson. Double team comes. Big fade away. Doesn't get there. Nice tip by Nigel Lloyd. Dorsey has the ball for the Bullets. Out to Reggie Kirk. Reggie doesn't take the 3. Tony Dorsey gets it to Fab Flournoy. Fab, what a move. Oh, then turned back into trouble. HL with the short jumpers, way long, way long.
Hate to see that great passing not rewarded with a made basket, but it was a great job of passing the ball, and that's all you could ask.
Danny Lewis doesn't control, and they say white ball. I thought that was a yellow ball. And Andre thought that was a yellow ball as well.
It looked clear to me that it was a white ball. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, you got to love this.
Danny hit it out, I think, wasn't it, Kevin?
I think Danny Lewis hit it out. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it looked clear to me. Yeah. I'm all for the referees, man. They make good decisions most of the time.
Okay, Kevin, you can take your tongue out of your cheek now. Nice drive by HL, and that's a yellow ball. Did HL take an extra step there, I wonder?
No, I don't think he did. The thing is, when HL goes to the hole, his last 2 steps are always really big, and once in a while the referees think that he covers so much ground that it's got to be a travel.
Yeah, that's a long 2 steps. 17-23. HL Coleman has 5 points here. Leading scorers, Carl Brown has 7 for the Towers. Hamilton has 6. Hamilton on the ball, gets it back to Depesh. Tony Dorsey has 12. Nice move by Keith Robinson.
It's just too easy. HL's got to do a better job of denying him the basketball. I mean, he catches the ball, 6 feet from the basket right in the middle of the lane, and HL just standing behind him, letting him catch it there. He's got to do a better job of denying that pass.
Dorsey has it. Fab Flournoy sets the screen. Fab gets it off, doesn't get there. Who's coming up with the ball? Fab Flournoy comes up with it and puts it away for 2. I know, Kevin, you're impressed with Flournoy and his whole attitude around the ball.
Yeah, because he always goes after the ball. That's Depesh finally getting himself in the game. But Fab is a hustler, and that's what Mike was saying and you were saying, is the energy. But that's Paul Depesh doing what he does best. Lewis getting him the ball. He fills it up, 3-point basketball game.
Well, look who's here watching this game. We have got all sorts of people. Nick Nurse in the house tonight. Your predecessor, coach.
Well, maybe he can bring a little bit of that
Fab,
Nurse luck.
What a move, Fab Flournoy. Woo! Fab will go to the line for 2.
That's the other thing that Fab brings to the table, is that when he catches the ball inside, he finds a way to wriggle his way around. If there's any kind of a gap at all, he's going to get through it and get the shot up, and in this situation gets fouled as well.
And he's a fearless type player. I mean, he goes in there no matter who's in there. Big guy can be 7 foot or 6 foot. He's going to go in there and do his thing. This is the one characteristics where he seems to have little weaknesses at the free throw line. And, that was our deal. If in doubt, then we have to take a foul on Fab.
Fab gets 1, shoots 69% over the season. Bullets lead this one by 4. How happy are you, Mike Finger, with your situation at the moment with the Bullets and the fact that you kind of nearly joined top of the Budweiser League? You will be back there if you can get the win here tonight. Reggie Wolf just laid in for 2.
If we can get the win tonight, then we got a chance at going joint top again. But if the Leopards would happen to win tonight, then we'd be in second place as well. But I don't really care what happens as long as we would win.
Okay, we have some halftime scores from games taking place elsewhere. Crystal Palace, who've been doing such a good job staying with the Greater London Leopards, they trail by 6, 43-49. Depesh doesn't get there. Rebound HL. Leicester lead the Newcastle Eagles 51 points to 48 at the half. And of course, Leicester lost to Newcastle last Friday, but leading this one by 3. And final one now, we've got Sheffield handing Manchester a whooping 51-39. Manchester, of course, without Jim Brandon tonight and without Jim Brandon last night. Ball is with Dorsey. Shot clock is at 3. Dorsey gets it up. Doesn't get there. Foul is on Fab. Brandon, of course, got a 3-game suspension earlier, and he appealed that, and that was a whole to-do about them losing at Chester some time ago. His ban was dropped from 3 to 2 games. He served 1 last night, a game they won against the Chester Jets quite comfortably in the end, but the scores were tied with less than 4 minutes to go. And then today they're playing at Sheffield, and Brandon unable to take part in that game. Carl Brown back into the ball game, 22 points to 28, 6-point game. Kevin, you getting worried yet?
No, not yet. Guys just have to get out there and just stay with it. I think, we have to continue offensively. You told them they're going to have...
Mike, you're asking me about a travel a little earlier, Mike. I think we saw one there with James Hamilton.
Yeah, there's no question about that. He danced.
Nigel Lloyd on the ball. Now we got Depesh on Dorsey. Dorsey too strong for Depesh.
It's a nice job of Nigel recognizing Depesh on Tony, and if they were to stay with that matchup, that's something that we would continue to try and do, is to get the ball to Tony in the post.
Hamilton on the ball to Carl Brown. Neville Austin finds Marco, doesn't get there, gets a whistle. In fact, Andre had called a timeout, but he's just gone back to the table, said he doesn't want it. Fab picks up foul number 2, and Reggie Kirk goes out. Chris Haslam coming back into the ball game. Chris Haslam has been very, very impressive for you, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done a good job, especially just right out of college. The thing that we've asked for him to do is to be more consistent in terms of his rebounding, and he doesn't have to score a ton of points for us. We want him to do a job defensively, get some rebounds, and if he can score 8 or 10 points, that's just an extra bonus for us.
Marco Baldi shoots 83% on the season. Chris Haslam, and again, here's another point. You must be delighted. He's in the England squad for the game taking place coming Saturday.
That's right. That's just a tremendous honor for him, and really great to have him on our team. He's a very coachable guy. He works
Carl Brown, long with the three.
And hopefully he'll take advantage of it and contribute to his team.
Dorsey, long outlets. HL doesn't get there, gets the offensive board. Nigel for three, doesn't get there, another offensive board. Ooh, that touched somebody's foot, referee. Ooh. Tell me, Mike Finger, your guys seem not afraid to take the three-point shot. Is that something you planned? They've taken 8 so far. Make that. How many have they taken so far? 11 so far. Baldy doesn't get there.
The guys that have taken the three-point shot are all good shooters. Nigel, uncharacteristically, has missed a couple, but Reggie and HL are both very capable shooters, and usually if HL hits his first 1 or 2, he's got a good chance of continuing to make them.
Well, you know, those are some awful three-point shooting percentages at the moment. HL up for 3 more. That time he knocks it down, and this time Andre takes the timeout. It's 23 points to the hometown London Towers, 33 points to the visiting Birmingham Bullets. We are going to go down and take a listen to what Andre has got to say to his team.
All right, listen up, Danny, listen. Hey, Keith. We're going back with the original guys who started the game, all right? When we go back in there, we're going rotation, all right? Rotation, because that is the only thing that's getting us open, okay? Now we got to remember on rotation, once you go down and set the pick opposite, okay, step off the block. Don't sit on the block because it's too crammed in the lane. I tell you what we do. We set screen one at a time, okay? So, once the ball goes to one side, you set the screen in the middle, wait, then set the other screen. What we're trying to do is, we're trying to set all the screens at the same time, and it's keep back to the middle, okay? Let's spread the floor. 2-3 zones. We're going 2-3.
Well, Kevin, what do you make of what he's saying there? Is that what you would have said?
You know, again, he's seeing things a little bit differently, and it's so much easier being up here. I think the number one thing for us is on the defensive end, we have to do a better job of securing the defensive rebound, because they've been able to come up with second shots, and they've seemed to convert those at a very high rate. And I think that's been the difference in the game. Offensively, you're going to have your up and down periods, but we have to have more consistent defensive spells if we're going to get ourselves back into this game.
And this is what's been happening, 17-21 at the end of the quarter. The first quarter here, the Bullets lead by 6 in the second. Ball to coming from the end line. Danny Lewis back on the court, and as Andre says, going back to the starting 5. They trail by 10. The screen sets. That's what Andre wanted, but HL gets there again. There's another screen. And they're doing what the coach said here, Mike Finger.
Yeah, they are doing a good job moving it around and trying to get it inside through their motion offense. And
Danny Lewis floats to the basket, doesn't get there. Rebound, Haslam, jump ball. Good play by Hamilton to get in there. That was a clean take by Haslam. Couldn't get it out of there.
Yeah, it was a nice rebound by Chris, but he's got to keep the ball higher and out of the grasp of those opponents, and then find the outlet as soon as he can.
I'm really pleased with the hustle of James Hamilton out here today on both the offensive and defensive ends. I think he's one of the guys that definitely has come out to play tonight.
Reggie Kirk back into the ball game for Fab Flournoy. Gets the tip. Bullets have the ball. Dorsey on the ball. Chris Haslam comes posts up, but Nigel just controls. Reggie for 3. Doesn't get there. Good board by Neville Austin. Blocked out HL. Carl Brown to Hamilton. Good strip by Reggie Kirk.
Looked like we saw a little bit different look on defense down there that time. Maybe Kevin can help me out. I don't know if it was a triangle and 2 or what it was, but it was a little something different, I
I think defensively, Carl Brown just left his man, and he was wide open in the corner. I don't think it was anything that was planned.
Neville doesn't get the drop, but an offensive board for Hamilton doesn't get there. Dorsey, London Towers, 8 shots without a score. Great lead pass. Oh, what a play by Hamilton. Haslam make that. Nigel doesn't come back with the 3. Your head kind of dropped there, Mike Finger.
Yeah, again, Nigel's missing some 3-pointers that are just absolutely money in the bank on most nights. He's had some really good looks at it, but he just got to continue to shoot them because they're going to fall sooner or later. The guys are doing a great job of finding him.
Carl Brown has it. Gets a screen. Nice crossover. Oh, and one! Foul is called on HL. HL thought he had the block. Carl Brown put it away. Will go to the line for 1. Nice play by Carl.
You know, it was penetration, getting to the basket, making their inside guys have to play. I think that's one of the things that we've gone away in the second quarter versus the first. First quarter, we were coming down, getting the ball to the guys on the inside. The second quarter has been mainly a jump shot type offense. First quarter, getting the ball inside worked. We have to get our mentality either going to the basket or making that pass into the inside. We have to get back into that.
And something I've spotted from you in previous games when you've been down there coaching is that you like that because it gets the opposition into foul trouble.
You know, it gets the opposition into foul trouble, and then it forces us movement on our offensive end, and it gets the guys, the big guys. Even if they don't score, we have big guys that'll pass the basketball. So it gets them at least into the game. They think, well, at least they're passing me the basketball now.
Reggie faked it, then took it. Nice bounce pass. Watch out! And 1! London Towers coming strong. Cuts this to 26-33. James Hamilton with a big throwdown on the pass by Carl Brown.
Now, if they could have got that from the beginning, that was how you run a fast break. Keith Robinson, outlet to Carl Brown. Carl takes 1 dribble, has his hands up, finds James underneath the basket for a nice dunk.
Reggie Kirk committed the foul. That was his first. Okay, Mike Finger, tell me, what would you be saying to your guys here now?
Well, I might say I like the shot that Reggie took, but we got to maybe in this situation when you go a couple of possessions without scoring, pass it around a little bit more and make them defend a little bit more.
Okay, let's take a listen to what they're saying on the bench.
Defensively, we can't afford to walk back. That's what I tell you. We can't afford to walk back. Okay? You know they zoned up to get that easy leak out, but we got to run back on transition D. Otherwise we're hurting us. Okay? We got plenty of good looks on that, so they'll go down. Yeah, they ain't hurting us on the D, we just ain't putting the easy looks down. That's all at the moment.
Well, I tell you what, we've got some shooting stats for you. This is quite amazing, really. 25% London Towers, 3-pointers, 27% Birmingham. But then that 8 for 13 really looks good for Birmingham, while the 10 for 28 is not so bad for the Towers.
Yeah, that's right. Happy with our shots inside of the 2-point. I mean, we're shooting 62%. We really got to like that. Hopefully we'll hit a few more of those 3-pointers as well.
You know, and looking at the stats, I mean, right now, if James Hamilton makes this free throw, that's probably the only difference in the game is the amount of free throws that they've made and that we haven't, because the field goals are the same. So if we continue to have, you know, at a rate of 8 or 9 more shots in this game than what they have, then, you know, I think I like that kind of number.
Nigel Lloyd on the ball. Gets it to Reggie Kirk and gets it back.
Got a 2-3 here by the Towers the way it looks. Hopefully we'll be able to get some good looks against it.
Good hands by James Hamilton.
Okay, now we're in the zone, a 2-3 zone. You know, whereas the last time, I think, when you said about Reggie getting that wide open jump shot, Carl was in the 2-3 zone, but the rest of the team didn't pick up to it.
Shot clock is down to 3. Turn around. Oh, doesn't get there. Big rebound by Hamilton. Dorsey got an elbow from Hamilton, I think. He's slow getting up. Lewis drives. Lewis, nice move for 2. Down to a 2-point ball game inside the final minute of the half. That's been a great comeback by the London Towers. Reggie Kirk doesn't get there. Dorsey with the offensive board. Remember, this is coming back from a 10-point deficit as Dorsey knocks down the 2.
And that's the one thing when you're in the zone defense. This is an exceptional rebounding team. That's where you give up a little bit. Is that there's a lot of opportunities for offensive rebounds.
There is about a 2-second differential. Hamilton doesn't take the three, drives, gets away with what looked like an extra step, and now the Bullets on the ball. 6 seconds. Nigel for three, doesn't get there, and Carl Brown with the outlet. Will he get there in time? Yes, he does. Let's see what the officials say. The basket is good. Will Brown says the basket is good. The Towers trailed by 10 no more than 5 minutes ago, and what a comeback. London Towers 33, Birmingham Bullets 35 at the half.
Well, it really is bubbling up quite nicely, this one, isn't it? Just 2 points in it. We'll be back with more thoughts from Kevin Cadle and from Mike Finger very shortly, right after this break. Stay with us. Mike, happy with the first half performance?
Yeah, I was happy in certain areas. I thought offensively we did a good job, except for offensive rebounding. We had a couple of stretches where we got some offensive boards, but other than that, really a pretty poor effort offensively in terms of rebounding. Defensively, I thought we did a nice job in spells, but then we let the Towers do a job on us in terms of offensive rebounding. So those two areas, I think, is where we need to improve.
We talked about the three-point shooting as being a possible winning point for the Bullets before this game, and Reggie Kirk shot down a three, which we're going to see. But generally, it was pretty poor. 4 from 17, Mike.
Yeah, and I tell you what, almost every one of those has been a great look. In particular, Nigel's had a number of open looks that are just almost always money in the bank. If we continue to get those, I have confidence that we can make those. And here's just a great job of Tony finding Reggie on penetration.
Kevin, are you happy so far with the Towers' defense this evening?
I think defensively we broke down a lot in the second quarter. I mean, they only scored 14 points in that quarter, but I thought that at the end we were able to get a few positives. On that jump shot by Reggie Kirk that was just before the quarter ended, Birmingham came out real strong in the second quarter because they came out with a positive. We ended up with some nice fast breaks, nice basket by Danny Lewis at the end. So I think we go into the locker room with a more positive outlook than what Birmingham does.
You were hoping for a big game from James Hamilton, and he's beginning to look the part.
You know, he is, and I mean, he's rebounding, he's making things happen on the offensive and defensive end, and he's getting himself up and down the floor for fast breaks and for other type of opportunities.
Yeah, he combined well with Carl Brown, didn't he, here, Kevin, off a fast break?
You know, the key to this is the outlet from Keith Robinson. He comes up with the outlet, gets nothing. Look at that. That's a long outlet pass, virtually to half court, and all James has to do is go get it and go finish the play. So a great team effort there. There, watch a nice outlet, strong outlet for Carl Brown. One dribble, gets his hands up, finds James Hamilton, who finishes the play nicely.
Mike, what are you looking for from the second half then?
A couple of areas, as Kevin just said, a little bit better job in transition defense, some more activity on the offensive glass, and then doing a little bit better job of keeping the Towers off of the offensive glass and doing a better job in defensive rebounding.
Kevin?
Better defensive rebounding, a consciousness of more coming down on the offensive end, passing the ball to the people on the inside.
Okay, let's go courtside to
Utah Jazz versus Miami Heat. I think I'm going to be looking at that one.
That'd be a good battle.
Yeah. It is London 33, Birmingham 35. Great fight back by the Towers coming towards the end of that second quarter. Kevin, feeling comfortable?
You know, I think I am. You know, if they had the opportunity to go back at halftime to discuss some things, I think the guys that one of the things that they probably hit on was, one, guys coming off the bench have to be a little bit more productive than what they were in the first half. And if we can get a little better production from the bench when he decides to make these substitutions, then they should be okay.
Mike Finger, something I noticed, you got off to a really, really good lead, but it all seemed to go to pieces when Fab left the floor. Do you think that was relevant?
Yeah, I think that was a part of it. I mean, he just does so many things for us defensively and rebounding. And in a game like this, where every possession is so critical, those rebounds really come into play.
Okay, knocks down the two. Reggie Kirk back out to a 4-point game. Danny Lewis has the ball. Gets a screen from Neville Austin. Neville rolled to the basket but didn't get the ball. Neville in the paint. Carl Brown doesn't take the two, gets it to Robinson. That should be two.
Excellent patience by Carl Brown, who had a nice jump shot. Wasn't really comfortable because he had a big 7-footer coming out there after him. He decided the best thing to do against a big guy, beat him with speed and quickness, penetrated, found Keith Robinson in the middle wide open.
Nigel Lloyd has the ball. HL pops out, but the ball goes down low to Reggie Kirk. Reggie gets it out to HL. Great fake. Puts his man in the air. Kirk for no points. Hamilton with the rebound.
Got to go to the basket.
Break. Danny Lewis. Foul. Foul call on Reggie Kirk. You thought he traveled there, Mike Finger. Let's see if we get to look at this, because I thought he traveled as well, but I don't know. It was very quick. Oh, we don't get to see it.
He was on his float game. You know? You can start your float game a little bit sooner, you know? You know, but, I mean, this is something that Dre and I had the opportunity to speak about, is that coming out after quarters, halftime, we have to come out aggressive, trying to make things happen. And I think right now, the second half, we've been able to come out and jump on these guys and go after them early in the second half.
He doesn't get there. Perhaps that's justice there, Mike Finger.
Yeah, well, if he'd have missed them both, that would have been justice. Oh, he did miss them both, didn't he?
He did. I was wondering. We have some latest scores from elsewhere. Crystal Palace now falling backwards against the Greater London Leopards, 65-78. Nigel Lloyd has the ball. Shot clock is down to 2. Dorsey gets it up. Doesn't get there. We have the latest from Leicester. It is Leicester 64. Leicester 60, Newcastle 74. Leicester had led that ball game at the half. HL with the finger roll. Pretty 1-2. And at the end of the third, Sheffield Sharks 72, Manchester Giants 59. So that's the latest we have from 3 of the 4 games taking place elsewhere this evening. Danny Lewis, defense closed in on him. Robinson has it. Neville's in the paint. Neville's in there a long time. Gets out to the fadeaway. Doesn't get the drop. And Reggie Kirk comes up with the ball to Nigel Lloyd. Oh, Mike Finger getting excited there. You thought you were on the court side there, didn't you, Coach?
Oh, those long diagonal passes with a guy waiting in the wings there make me nervous. I thought this was going to be a pickoff for sure, or a collision with a couple of pretty important guys flying out of bounds.
Nigel Lloyd has the ball.
We're in a 2-3 zone again.
How do you handle a 2-3 zone, Mike Finger?
We just do a lot of passing and cutting, and then we have a couple of set plays that look to get us either an open 3-point shot or something inside, but mostly just passing and cutting.
Nigel Lloyd works inside. Shot clock is down to 4. And a turnover. Carl Brown has the ball. What a spin move! Great play, Carl Brown! The 2 points are good for Hamilton, but all Hamilton had to do was get up and throw it down.
You know, and it's nice. Watch the spin move by Carl. Took the defender out to play. James again running the floor, finishing it up. I mean, for us right now, I have to say the guy for the match definitely has been James Hamilton.
Well, let me ask you this, Kevin. Where has James been all season? Because that's his game. When he played at Worthing last year, he was scoring 30, 40 points nearly every game. And I thought that was going to be the case when he came here. Danny Lewis gets the 2. Tell me.
He's been like what they call a Vietnam veteran, missing in action. And we've been trying to figure out why. You know, it's with us, one of the things that, you look at James, he's playing a completely different position than he played with Worthing. Worthing, he was underneath the basket, playing a 4-man position. With us, he has to play 3. We have Keith, we have Neville, we have Marco. We're asking him to be more versatile. He has the abilities, but he just has to learn to use them on a more consistent basis.
3-pointer knocked down by Reggie Kirk. Birmingham Bullets here have taken 19 3-pointers so far. They've made only 5, shooting 26%. Robinson in that paint a long time, but gets the drop for 2. Nigel Lloyd on the ball for the Bullets. Now let me ask you, Mike Finger, first of all, and then Kevin, I'm going to come to you with this one. What do you think of the job your coaches are doing so far?
I think they're doing a great job. Richard Parker really is doing a good job at it. You see him consulting with Nigel a lot, making a couple of adjustments here and there, but really, I think offensively, we're getting a lot of good shots, just not knocking down a lot of the perimeter ones. Is that one going the same way for us?
Danny Lewis breaks out. Danny with a nice crossover, and the foul is by Reggie Kirk. Kevin, how about your guys?
I think Andre, he's been with me as an assistant coach for 7 years. So, I mean, every day, you know, even when he wasn't making a wage that was worthwhile, he still continued to come to practices, spend the time trying to learn the basketball game, trying to pick up what he wants. He's a hungry guy, a guy that when they make coaching changes at the end of the year like they usually do, they should be in for some type of consideration. So I've always been comfortable, you know, with the idea of if something ever was to happen that Andre could take over and do a pretty decent job. So I'd have to say that I'm pleased, you know, so far, and I think I'm pleased right now with the defensive move that he's made. The zone defense, Birmingham is getting the shots, but they're not putting them in the basket, and as long as they continue not to make the shots, the zone defense is an excellent ideal. The first time these two teams met, which is a long time ago, it was a game where both teams played a lot of zone. And, you know, neither team shot well. Birmingham got it going the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. But, you know, I think that right now it's been a difference for us. Is you know, it's the adjustment that he's made. That's 3 free throws in a row by Danny Lewis that he's missed.
You're counting, are you?
Hey, I count them all game long. It's usually Neville Austin or someone else that I'm counting.
This is to tie up the ball game, and he does. We are tied at 42. Danny Lewis will go out of the game. In will come Paul Depish. Now, Fab Flournoy is back on the floor for the Bullets. I think the energy really started to go when Fab came in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we can get some more offensive rebounds and get that defensive lift that Fab always brings to us. We certainly need it right now.
Nigel Lloyd on the ball to Dorsey. Dorsey to Nigel Lloyd, puts it up for 3, and finally knocks one down. Nigel Lloyd was 0 for 8 before that one, is now 1 for 9.
It wouldn't be surprising for me for Nigel to hit his next 7 in a row either.
Nigel Lloyd, speaking to me before a recent game, said, will I mention, foul is called. Will I give a mention to Kevin St. Kitts, who's playing his basketball in France at the moment, one of the legends of the British game. There's the reach-in by Nigel, and Mike Finger doesn't like that call.
Oh, I thought it was a great call, Mike. What are you talking about? That's an absolute reach-in, no question about it. He slapped him. That was a great call.
Can we have a camera on these guys, please, so we can see these tongues in cheeks? Great move by Neville towards the post. Neville, Dorsey, oh, nearly a great save by Dorsey.
Whoa.
Neville is letting the official hear it, doesn't like it.
Hey, call the police, assault and battery on that one. You know, I guess that's an even up. It's an even up. Yeah, that's a, you know, yeah, that all that could have been was arm.
Robinson for 3's long. Rebound. Reggie won't save that. It's a yellow ball. 42 points to 45. Bullets lead this by 3. Bullets have led for most of this ball game. Got it out as far as 10, I think, was the biggest lead. But now just a 3-point ball game. Hamilton drives. Oh, Fab. Fab was up there for the block. Said he had his hand on it. The official said he had his hand on his wrist.
I look forward to seeing this one on the replay.
This is all body. This is the kind of fouls they've been calling for Tony Dorsey all year here. So this is all body.
There was no push-up on the elbow there either. It was just an optical illusion. I saw that.
Yeah, you know. Hey, the ref, that's our end of the floor.
I tell you what, guys, I'm going to stay out of this one, okay?
That's our end of the floor down there.
Hamilton is on the line for 2. The total foul situation, London Towers have only had 3 fouls blown on them. Birmingham Bullets 9. Kind of some ways to go to evening up, Coach.
That's right, and another interesting stat is that we're the least penalized team in the league in terms of foul calls. We average about 15 a game.
So they're making up for you this week. They've been letting you get away too long. I think the referees know that too. Hey!
Dorsey has it. Bullets lead by 2. You're watching British basketball, just about the best game in town. My commentators are Mike Finger of the Birmingham Bullets and Kevin Cadle of the London Towers. Shot clock is down to 7. Reggie Kirk for 3. Doesn't get there. Rebound, Depish. Now, these guys are able to be with me on the commentary point because they are both suspended from taking part in this ball game tonight. We won't go into why they were suspended and whether it was a good, bad, or indifferent decision, but they are suspended and not able to take any active part in this game. So now, for the first time ever, we have a chance, a unique chance, of seeing their thinking as stuff is happening on the floor. Kevin, that was a great 2 points.
Again, we went inside. Went inside again. It's because we went inside on the play. Foul there, but we attacking, they're inside. You know, we have to go at them. We have the strength. We have the bodies. We just have to get the mentality of the whole group to let them know, go inside and let's react off of that.
Danny Lewis coming into the ball game. You can see at the bottom of your picture, Andre having a good few words with him. Carl Brown picked up that foul. It is his first. Carl has 10 points here tonight, already played 25 minutes. Bullets still on the ball. We are tied at 45. Remember, the situation in the Bud League is this. The London Towers are 19-8. Dorsey has the ball, gets it back to Reggie Kirk. Birmingham Bullets in second place in the league is 20-5. Only team above them is the Greater London Leopards. Shot clock is down to 7. 5. Dorsey has it back to Nigel. Great patience by the Bullets. You got to be happy with that one.
Well, extremely happy. They're passing the ball around well. The only thing I don't like about it is I'd like to get a look or two inside against the zone. But that was just excellent ball movement by the Bullets, and we kept going around until finally Tony finds Nigel wide open. As I said, Nigel could hit 8 in a row now, and he hit 2 in a row. He's only got 6 more to go.
Going against his zone defense, that's how you beat it. Penetration and passing. And I think that's what they did.
Great
Good job.
pass. And the 2 points. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was a great pass.
Excellent pass. Again, from high to low. You know, but it was against the zone, penetration and passing. That's what they had in that series. Got a guy going to the basket. He found Tony underneath. He didn't like the shot. He found Nigel wide open. They got exactly what they wanted.
Hamilton is very active in this ball game tonight. He has 16 points. Team high 16 points, and he's doing everything, getting into the passing lanes, knocking the ball away.
Let's get it said. When that guy wants to play, he can play. You know, there's no question about it. When he does the preparation on the court as well as off the court, he can come and make things happen.
Nigel Lloyd gets it to Dorsey. Dorsey for 3. It's good! Bullets' last 3 scores, if my memory serves me right, have been 3s.
Well, we knew
2 for Nigel, 1 for Dorsey.
We were getting a lot of open looks at it, and just a matter of time before they start to go down, so hopefully they'll continue. I wish we could do a little bit better job of keeping the ball out of the post right now, though.
Foul called on Dorsey.
It ought to be, it's either 9 or 10-3 now. They got a little catching up to do.
You know, right now, I look at this, and it's a 4-point ball game with, you know, they've come down, they've hit 3 consecutive 3-pointers, and, you know, gives them a little bit of momentum. But our guys, the outside people, have let us down so far in this quarter. We've missed 4 free throws, and you know, that has been the difference. Those 4 free throws making a tie game with Neville Austin at the free throw line. You know, for us, that has been a major thing. You get the easy stuff. You want to take advantage of anything that's easy, because there's not a lot of easy opportunities that come in this league nowadays.
Neville got the first. Neville gets the second. Neville shooting irregularly, just 49% on the season. Is 100% here tonight. Fab Flournoy has the ball. Gets it back to Nigel Lloyd. Nigel slows things down. Controls. Dorsey's to his left. And Reggie has the ball. Oh, Reggie wide open. Doesn't take it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. 6. That's off left. And big rebound by Hamilton. Danny Lewis breaks out and then slows it down. Has Neville posting up. Neville got a nice position there. Here's Neville. Oh boy, that was a reach-in if I ever saw one. Walked with it, never lost it.
You gotta be kidding. You got to be kidding. Yeah, you got to be kidding on that call.
There it is again.
I don't understand the problem. Where's the confusion in here? That was an obvious travel there and a good strip, Kevin.
Yeah, there's no question about the travel.
Please, producer, can we have coaches like this every week? Dorsey knocks down another three.
Great job of Nigel. Tony's feeling it right now, and he's really kind of a streak shooter when it comes to three-point, and he's feeling it right now, and Nigel's getting him the ball.
Danny Lewis is fouled by Reggie Kirk.
There's
That's
the makeup
be
right
4
there,
on
Kevin.
Reggie.
But it couldn't have come on a worse guy for us. Kind of a, you know, any other time in the game, that's going to be a no call, but because of the stripping that happened down there, the refs felt that maybe they owed him one, and just unfortunate for us that it came with Reggie.
Yeah, because of the strip, you know, it's 2 for 1. They had to call that one again. They let him go last time.
Danny Lewis will go to the line for 1. That's the 4th foul on Reggie Kirk. He has 13 points here tonight.
Might not have been a bad foul. I mean, Lewis is 0 for 3, 0 for 4 this quarter, so it might not have been a bad foul.
Or you're being a bit hard on him, Kevin. First one is good. London Towers have been to the free throw line 13 times in this ball game. There's number 14. 3-point game, 51-54. 9 for 14 Towers, 5 for 6 the Bullets. Nigel has it, needs to get it across. That was a foul, yeah. Foul called on James Hamilton. That's foul number 2. We have just about 24 seconds left to play in the 3rd timeout has been called. Not quite sure who called the timeout there. Was it your guy?
If we get the ball back, okay, we want to thumb down like
Towers, let's hear what they're saying.
2 picks, okay? So, it's a man. Okay, you want to run the ball straight off 2 picks. Straight off, yeah. Don't fall the ball, go get it. All right, 2 picks, let's go, fellas. Quick foul, we got 2 to give.
And what's Birmingham saying?
20 seconds to go, get him on the ball anyway. You sure? Okay, you ain't crashing. Yeah, get him. Hey,
Kevin, I have to say this. You mentioned it before. Andre seems totally in control. I don't think he's even looking over his shoulders towards you.
Well, with that call of that timeout, he needs to be looking over my shoulder. You know, it's something that you only get 2 timeouts a half, and I don't know about using that timeout with them with the basketball with 16 seconds to go in the quarter. So, you know, and again, a wasted foul right there.
11 seconds left to play. Paul Defish commits the foul. The ball, Towers did have a foul to give, so ball coming in from the sideline. Nigel Lloyd has it. Back to Dorsey. Shot clock is down to 7, 6. Nigel has it. Will they get it off in time? Nigel! And 1! What a play! That is Nigel Lloyd basketball, Mike Finger.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's 36 years old, and he goes in there, and my goodness, here we got to see it right now. Going in there against guys that are more athletic and taller than him, but he finds a way by using his body to protect the basketball and get the shot off.
Well, what I like about this, and I see this a lot because I do your games at Birmingham, is the fact that he measures the clock so perfectly.
Yeah, he's just really a very...
Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Danny Lewis from way out! Here it is again! Kevin Cagle, what do you make of this? Talk to me, Kevin!
Diamond. Is that...
What a ball game we've got going on here! 54 points to the London Towers, 56 to the Birmingham Bullets. It's a top of the table clash. You have got to be here when we return. Now listen, Kevin and Mike, I want you to look at this. This is the freeze. Danny Lewis is about to shoot from there. Now if we click on here and we can see where he is, just about there. We're talking about 19.3 meters. That was a killer, that one, Mike Finger.
Yeah, first of all, my hat's off to Kevin for drawing up that play. I'm sure they worked on that all week.
Work on that every day.
That is
the final thing of practice we work on.
That's a perfect execution.
You get one milkshake if you make it.
The one thing that Kevin mentioned at the end of both of these last quarters is that they've had the momentum because of good plays at the end of the quarter. And we'll just have to see if we're mentally tough enough to sort of withstand that mental blow that we took right there.
Let me tell you, Nigel Lloyd scored his bucket with 2 seconds left on the clock. That's when it started. Fab Flournoy kicks it out to H.L. Coleman for 3! And H.L. screams!
That's really a big bucket for us, as I just was saying, you know, kind of a psychological blow to have Danny hit that shot from three-quarter court, and us to come out and score a big basket right back is important.
Kevin, what do you make of that 3? You said you didn't mind if he was out there sticking 3 or 4 threes.
I mean, right now he's 3 for 10 from the field. All of his shots have been at the three-pointer. 3 for 13. They all been three-pointers. So, you know, what can we say? You know, some of those shots are going to go in the basket. We just have to make sure we have somebody out there to contest.
Bullets have the numbers. Nigel Lloyd for 3! Bullets with big numbers. You said you wanted Nigel to go 0 for 8 on his next 8 3-pointers. He's now 0 for 4, if I got that right.
I wanted him to go
Make
8 for 8.
Make that 4 for 8.
8 for 8, please. Yeah, now I think he's hit 3 of his last 4 unofficially. So yeah, sooner or later, a guy like him is just not going to miss that many open shots.
54 points to 62. Carl Brown has it to Depish. Depish doesn't take the 3. Gets it down low to Neville Austin. Neville on the post. Good defense by Haslam. Tough defense by Haslam. And Bullets have the ball. 3-on-1 break. HL slows it down.
Great
Back
decision
to Dorsey.
by HL to pull it out.
Dorsey to Fab. Doesn't get there. Fab commits the foul. You didn't like that one?
Oh, Fab just had a wide open layup and unfortunately didn't go down, and out of frustration, or not really out of frustration because that's a play that Fab does all the time. He's just like a little ferret in there trying to reach around and get the ball out of the opponent's hands, and I just would have rather seen him knock down that layup, Mike. Doggone it.
I thought maybe the problem with that was that I thought Dorsey was a little close to Fab. Depish doesn't get there. Rebound Fab.
Don't want to let that guy have any more open looks either, because those are money in the bank as well.
Fab drives. Oh, baby! Oh, what a sweet move by Fab to the hole. Gets the whistle. Foul is called on Keith Robinson. That's his first.
And that's smart basketball by Fab Flournoy, because he knows that a lot of teams don't respect his perimeter shot. Nobody's guarding out there, so he takes it right to the hole.
You gotta like. Let me talk to Kevin Cadle here. We saw the replay there. We saw Keith Robinson try to take Fab's shirt, but Keith Robinson turns around to the official and says, "I never touched it."
I mean, it was definitely a foul, but you have to come in that situation. You can see that you're going to make the foul. You have to make a much more aggressive foul than that and not allow him to get a possible three-point play. You know, Keith was too soft on that foul right there. We almost had a three-point play happening.
Danny Lewis has the ball. Foul is called on Nigel Lloyd. Yeah, grabbed Danny as he went past him. Even Mike Finger nods his approval of that call.
No question that Nigel was trying to save the layup right there.
54-63, second foul, Nigel Lloyd. Danny Lewis has the ball.
Water. And if you drink the water first, it will slow down the metabolism of the alcohol.
Of his seat on that one.
Can we have the replay, please? Can we have the replay?
Okay, let's see who touched it. Now you can see the kind of a job the officials have to decide. That was off Danny Lewis, I think. Carl Brown for the long 3. Doesn't get there, in and out. And who's got the ball? Oh, Fab Flournoy has the ball. Nigel Lloyd to Dorsey. Dorsey back to Nigel. Nigel for 3. Doesn't get there. Fab pulls it in, but then runs out of play with it. He says he was pushed by Depish.
That's where I really got a hard time with being angry at Fab. I mean, the guy works his tail off and gets the rebound and gets, you know, maybe pushed out of bounds, and he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt there.
We have some results from Bud League games taking place elsewhere. Leicester Riders 92, Newcastle 103. So 2 back-to-back wins there for Newcastle as Hamilton knocks down the 3. Sheffield 108 versus Manchester's 88. That's the result. Manchester of course, got the win last night, and they lose tonight. First points of the quarter for the Towers, that three. Dorsey has the ball down low. Dorsey, oh, baby! Oh, baby, what a play by Dorsey. Kevin, talk me through this.
This is a move and a half. You had two guys coming through for the double team. He reads the defense, splits them, goes underneath, and finishes for an excellent shot.
And Danny Lewis with a big play at the other end. This has been a high-quality basketball game, Mike Finger.
Yeah, both teams are really playing well. They're going to their offensive strengths right now, and that's what you got to have them do in the late stages of the game.
Dorsey on the ball. HL comes to the top. Dorsey pops it out to Nigel Lloyd. Nigel is no good with that one. And Carl Brown has the ball. Carl's ahead of the play. Oh, good foul by Haslam. Carl Brown will have to earn these two on the line. 72% shooter, but he'll have to do it on the line. Timeout has been called. Here's Carl Brown. Explodes down the floor. And I think HL was ready to go for the block on that one. The timeout has been called by London Towers. They take their final timeout. Let's go and hear what Andre is going to say to his London Towers, for today at least.
On the inside, they're not calling the reach. All right? So therefore, when you grab the orange, when you grab the ball, you're going to squeeze it and go hard. Make sure the referee hears that foul. Squeeze the ball. Now, those guys are going to be in foul. They're in foul trouble. Their main guys are in foul trouble. They got one foul to give. We're running everything we run. We have to take it to the basket, okay? We run thumb down, turn the corner, take it to the basket. Fist, looking for a guy, take it to the basket. KB, everything we run, we have to take it to the basket, okay? Everything we run, take it to the basket. Rotation next time down. Next time we're on offense rotation. We're in 23.
Okay, well, Andre definitely in control of that one. Repeating to the guys, take it to the basket. Strange place to take a timeout, Kevin. Your guys going to the line. You're only down, 6 points. You could come back from this down 4, but he takes the timeout.
Different strokes for different folks right now. That basically uses up our allotment of timeouts. But, it's a case of you have to look at it sometimes, why save them? You save them when you need them. Maybe he thought the guys as a group, maybe they look tired. Certain senses that you have out there as a coach, you have to pick up on, you have to react to. It's a case of now, coming down the stretch, the last 6 minutes, it's about the easy shot. The team that makes the easy shots is going to be the one that wins this basketball game.
9 for 15. London Towers from the line tonight. Make that 10 for 16. Nigel Lloyd on the ball. Kevin, do you think it was a good timeout consequently? No. Okay. Dorsey has the ball. 5-point ball game. Back with Dorsey, just under 6 minutes left to play in the game. Dorsey with the crossover, floats in, gets it back. Dorsey for 3, doesn't get there. Great hands by H.L. Coleman, and then not so great hands by H.L. Coleman.
I like the fact that he's going to the glass. He hasn't done enough of that in this game, and just finally when he did, he unfortunately wasn't able to hold on to it.
Okay, Carl Brown has the ball. 5:27 left to play in the game in regulation. Nice crossover by Carl. Now goes down the middle. It's good for 2.
Hey, I think the defense went into a laze as well as our offense there, right there. Nothing happened on the offensive end. Carl Brown decides, let's go to the basket, make something happen that way.
Reggie Kirk looking to Nigel Lloyd to find out exactly what he wants.
Big screen coming for Reggie right here.
Dorsey on the ball. Reggie has it. Shot clock is at 10. Dorsey with the spin move. Tough play, doesn't get there. Rebound Robinson. And here come the Towers again. They trail by 3. Carl Brown has the ball. Depish spots up left. Danny Lewis comes right, and the ball is with Hamilton. Back to Robinson. Now Depish comes right and then goes left. A lot of movement on this offense, Kevin Cadle.
That was there. All that movement and come up with that shot there, which is not a good shot. It's a case of play the game. Instead of looking at the scoreboard, you don't need a 3-point. You just need a basket right then. Everything was happening. Good ball movement, good patience by the team, but still find those guys on the inside.
Foul is on Hamilton. Yeah, just put an arm in there. Now, listen, I wanted to ask you this question a little bit earlier. I'm going to put it to both of you guys. We've seen now 3/4 of this ball game. If you were to lose this game, what do you think the reasons would be?
The reasons?
Oh, reason.
Okay, no, I would say right now, if the game was to end right now, I'm looking at the free throw line. You know, that's my number one thing. We spend a lot of time, and we have spent a lot of time over the weeks on the free throw line. If it was the big guy, Neville Austin, missing the free throws, then maybe. But it's our outside people that have missed the free throw so far, so that would be the first thing I would look at.
Okay, Mike Finger, how about you? If the Bullets were to lose this one, what do you think the reasons will have been?
First thing would be our rebounding and our lack of offensive rebounding, and then the fact that we're allowing them too many offensive rebounds. And the second thing is our transition defense hasn't been there the whole night consistently. We're giving up too many easy shots in transition.
Robinson leans in, doesn't get there. Rebound, Nigel Lloyd. We have got less than 4 minutes left to play. Dorsey has the ball. Dorsey looks to go down the middle, kicks it out to Reggie Kirk. Kirk for three is good! Andre saying commit the foul. Don't let him in there. Great play by Reggie Kirk. Three-point shooting, 12 for 32 for the Bullets, 5 for 14 for the London Towers. Mike Finger, how do you take 32 three-pointers in a ball game?
Well, you know, it was obviously a part of the game plan for the Towers to not give us anything inside. And, you know, I think it's a situation where we're finding the open guys, and we weren't afraid by the fact that we missed a lot of shots in the first half. We keep shooting them because they're open.
Kyle Brown has the ball. Kevin, what moves would you make here? Depish doesn't take the three.
You know, I was saying the case down the stretch, the last 5 minutes, I worked the substitutions to try to get my starting five on the floor. You got to go with Hamilton. You know, you got to put Hamilton in the game and maybe get out there and play a little bit of man-to-man defensive now. I think now would be a great time to go man-to-man.
Kyle Brown on the floor, tries to put a little pressure on Nigel Lloyd. Dorsey has the ball. Shot clock is down to 9. Dorsey up for three. Is good! 64 points to 71. Dorsey knocks down a long three. 7.17 meters, I'm told, for that one. Depish comes across. Danny drives and doesn't go! Neville Austin! Woo! Takes the offensive board and puts it away before coming down. That's nice by Neville, Kevin. Is it enough? Can it get your guys going?
You know, I think they're here. Now they have to see they have to go man-to-man. You know, they got to. They got to pick up the floor man-to-man and D up.
You know, this is only a 5-point ball game. You said that Hamilton needs to be on the floor. He's still on the bench. Still on the bench, James Hamilton. There he is. And coming in. Hey, can we call it a what?
Well, time out here. I hope the English Basketball Association is here, because we're talking about getting James Hamilton in up here, and now he comes in. Now, that can't be purely coincidence. What's going on up here?
You see how
Who's got a telly down there? Who's got a telly down there?
Hey, Andre has a little rose on his chest. That's an inside microphone, baby.
H.L. Coleman on the line for two, gets the first. H.L. Coleman has 14 points personal. Solid from the line tonight. Is there any way for the Towers to get back into this one, Kevin?
I mean,
we spent 6 points.
We spent a lot of time and have spent a lot of time on this segment of the game this past week. We'll see. We'll see if it comes to fruition right now. You know, they have to come down, make some things happen offensively, going to the basket, reading the floor, a little bit better reading the floor, but then coming down playing tough defense.
I'll answer that question for you. No question about it, especially when that guy gets an open three.
Danny Lewis for three! This one ain't over yet. We have got just under 90 seconds to play, and we have got a 4-point ball game. Nigel Lloyd, a little bit closer that one. You may remember at the end of the third, that big three-pointer by Danny Lewis from kind of like the three-point line at the other end of the court.
This is an important defensive series here.
Nigel Lloyd, oh my goodness! Oh! What a play. Nigel Lloyd took off on that one, facing the wrong way, then turned in. Danny Lewis doesn't get their rebound. Neville, and Neville knocks it down. It's still a 4-point game, less than 45 seconds to play. Kevin, do you foul here?
I would think so, because it's odd number. We need the ball on 2 possessions. If it was a 3-point deal, then yeah. But we need 2 possessions. They got why wait that late? Why that long?
Now to get it to within 30, you don't get it back.
Yeah, if you're gonna take the foul, you gotta take the foul way down at the other end of the court. Don't let them run off 15 seconds and then make a foul.
James Hamilton has gone from this one. I suppose that's possibly the reason he spent so much time on the bench, which we didn't spot before. Apologies for that.
Well, no, I think we've said it that he had the 4 fouls, but it was a case of you have to play with those 4. At that stage you just got to play with it.
Foul is on Danny Lewis. That's to stop the clock. Bullets had that foul. In from the sideline this time. Towers with no fouls to give. Bullets will go to the line. 71 points to 75. Mike Finger, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling a little uneasy right now. These are obviously 2 very important free throws, because 4 points with 30 seconds is really nothing to overcome. And so it really is going to be important for Tony to hit at least one of these free throws.
Let's talk about the enjoyment of the game of basketball. How was it for you up here, not being able to have any effect compared to when you're down there? Were you able to relax any up here?
Absolutely not. This has been the worst basketball game of my life, so to speak, in terms of just wanting to be down there with my team in a very important basketball game.
Great play by Carl Brown. Dorsey has the ball fouled by Danny Lewis. 18 seconds left to play, 6-point ball game. Dorsey will go to the line for 2. If this game should stay like this and the Bullets should get the win, remember the Leopards won again today. They won earlier, so the situation is the Leopards will remain at the top of the Budweiser League. There's your commentary team for today, by the way. Who's that handsome guy in the middle?
Well, he is unbelievable.
A rose between 2 forms.
I don't know if we got
Nick Nurse, of course, still here. Sorry, Mike. Go on.
I was just going to say, I don't know if we got a chance to see it earlier, but H.L. Coleman allowed a 3-pointer there by Robinson, and after the play was over, Nigel Lloyd's over there telling him, saying, hey, in this kind of a situation, you got to make sure you're not giving up the 3-pointer. So that's a situation where Nigel Lloyd, my assistant coach, out on the floor, always doing a job.
Had a foul to give there. That's a very clever foul.
Very smart basketball, and that's Richard Parker doing a great job in my absence.
Carl Brown with a long 3-pointer. And this clock is going to run out. This is one of the weaknesses, I have to say. So much time can be wasted there. Reggie has it. Reggie! Oh, it doesn't go down. He will go to the line for 2. Kevin, what do you make of this one?
I thought the Bullets came in. They did a very good job, commendable job. Disappointed in our guys now. Again, you look at the score at the end, it's 4 points. You got to look at the free throw line. I thought we went away from what worked for us in the first half of getting the ball on the inside, and that made a major difference.
Let me ask you a very unfair question, and then I'll explain to you then why I asked the question. Could you have won this ball game?
That's hard to say. I mean, both coaches would have been in the game, and it's it's hard to say. Would I've done things differently? No question. Would Mike have done things differently? There's no question about it. So, I think that one of the things that I could say is that I thought Andre came up with some very good ideas, which I was able to pick up and to learn. One of the things I'm sitting here doing is also scouting my team, because this is still a very important time of the year for us. We're still in the league race. We're still going to have a deciding deal with the league race. Even if we don't get it, we're going to decide for a lot of people what position they finish up in. So for us, it's important that we continue to progress at this stage of the season.
The reason I asked that question wasn't to embarrass Andre in any way at all, but I think one of your strengths as a coach is seeing what's going on the basketball floor and making the adjustments. You must be absolutely delighted, Mike Finger, with that result.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, my congratulations to the London Towers on a hard-fought basketball game under difficult circumstances, certainly without Kevin. And then my next congratulations got to go to Richard Parker and to my team on doing just an outstanding job of executing our game plan and continuing to shoot the basketball and not be afraid to live or die sort of by the 3. And tonight we were able to come back and hit some huge threes in the second half.
Well, it ended 74 points to 80. There's one of the assistant coaches looking up here to talk to Mike Finger and just to say he did the job for you. Just how difficult was this for you, Kevin?
It was kind of difficult, but not overly barren. You know, I put myself in this situation by expressing my grievances to the officials after the game. So, you know, this is the penalty that I had to serve. I had to deal with it. So, you know, by being up here, one of the things that, you know, I wanted to see, and which I've done on occasions, is have people scout my team and let me know what my strengths and weaknesses are. And it was good for me to be able to look at them from that point of view today.
Well, can I thank you both very much indeed. You're going to go back and join Dominic. The final score in this one, great basketball game. London Towers 74, Birmingham Bullets 80. The Bullets go to 21-5.
So an interesting experience for the two coaches up here with us, but how did it feel down there? Suzanne is talking to Nigel Lloyd and Tony Dawson.
Thanks very much, Dominic. I'm not sure how it felt, but they look pretty hot and tired and sweaty, but I'm never sure to... Wait, do I call you coach now?
No, still player first, still player.
What sort of preparation went into tonight's game? Obviously, it was a little bit different, wasn't it, for you guys out there tonight? Well, both sides, really.
Well, we had to make little adjustments. We didn't have to make anything that a great difference. We've been doing the same thing all year and just carried on. Good thing we had a week of practice to prepare for this, and we just constantly battled all week to prepare for this. The coach coached the second team, and Nigel and myself coached the first team, so we came into this game well prepared.
But it certainly looked like it. Nigel, there was a lot of coaching from you on court as well, but I think we're quite used to seeing that, aren't we?
Yeah, periodically, the coach, Mike Finger, gives me a little freedom to say stuff to the guys. They may not like it, but he's a great coach, and he put me where we are today, and he gave us the ammunition to help win tonight.
Well, you certainly played a fantastic game. They gave you a run for the money. They made a great comeback, didn't they, at the end of that second quarter going into the half?
Well, Towers is a great team with a very proud tradition. We knew they weren't going to let us just come in here and roll over them. We just had to sustain what we started the game with, that same intensity for the first 15 minutes, and it carried us through the second half.
Now, we could hear, obviously, what Coach Finger was saying upstairs. It was a lot of good, colourful commentary, I can tell you, between him and Kevin. He said he was a little disappointed with the rebounding from the team tonight.
Yeah, we all were. We kept insisting to the guys that we needed to rebound a little harder. We needed to do it. But I think I'm sure he would be happy with the win. So thanks, Coach. We'll get to work on that on next day of practice.
He certainly is very happy with the win because it came very close. They did pull back to a tie, of course. But Fab Flournoy, he hustles very well, doesn't he, under the basket for you guys?
That's his role on the team. We know every time Fab comes in the game, he's going to bring a lot of energy. He's going to get every loose ball. And for his size, he's going to get the big rebounds. And that's what we needed. And he came in and did a great job tonight.
He certainly did. Well, just one last question to you both. Would you rather sort of stay as a coach now, or are you going to rather stay back on the court and leave it back to Mike Finger?
Yeah, Bullets only have one coach. That's Mike Finger. We just help any way we could, but he's the main guy.
Now, do you go along with that, Tony? You'd rather be out there playing, not having to worry about the coaching?
Yeah, of course. I prefer this suit to a three-piece any day.
Guys,
I couldn't hit a shot as the coach. I want to be a player again.
Guys, congratulations. Well done, and all the very best for the next or forthcoming game. Thank you.
Well, they enjoyed it, certainly, didn't they? And Mike Finger, I suppose they didn't have to do too much when you're putting an outside game together like they did this evening.
Yeah, and it was something that we talked about throughout the basketball game, especially in the first half when we did hit a lot of three-point shots. But they stuck with it. We continued to get open looks at the three-point shot, and they weren't afraid to keep taking them. And luckily, they started to fall in the second half.
I mean, Kevin, was this something you think or was this something that you had a say in, that the Towers were going to let the Bullets take their outside shots?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, one of the things is, you know, you have guys in this league that can shoot the basketball. But if you have the opportunity of giving them an inside shot or outside shot, most definitely we want them to shoot the ball from the outside. I think the zone defense, it created that, but I think we might have stayed in it just a little bit too long.
Well, they took something like, 34 three-point shots there. I mean, it's a fairly impressive display, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, and they hit a, decent number. When you can shoot 38% of three-point shots, that's like shooting over 50% of two-point shots. So, you know, it's a very good percentage.
Yeah. This was Nigel Lloyd's three-pointer. And, Mike, at this stage, I think it was halfway through the third quarter, and it was his first points.
Yeah, and You know, at that stage, I think, like you mentioned, he had been 0 for 8 from the three-point line. And, you know, a tremendous testament to Nigel. He knows he's a very good basketball player. He knows he can make the three-pointer, and he got another open look, and he nailed it. And it was at that point in time I said to Mike Schaff, you know, he could rail off 8 in a row now after missing his first 8. And, in fact, I think he hit 3 of his next 4 three-point shots.
But do you think up to that stage the coaching responsibilities perhaps were playing on his mind a little bit?
Yeah, I think during the first half of the game, Nigel was concentrating on the things that we needed to be doing defensively and offensively, and it might have taken a little bit away from his actual performance on the game. But, you know, he's a smart enough basketball player and competitor that he got himself back into it in the second half.
Well, listen, talking of three-pointers, we saw one absolutely superb shot, didn't we? Danny Lewis. Kevin, what do you say about this?
You know, he's a guy that you know, usually comes in and performs for us game in and game out. And this was a big play. We had the second half and the fourth quarter where we had the momentum going in, and we just didn't sustain it after the breaks. You know, after the breaks and after timeouts, I don't think that we upped our game any to another level, which we needed to do when you're playing against this type of competition.
Mike talked about the importance of a good start to the fourth quarter, because I think that three-pointer brought you back to within 2 points of them. And then out they came in the fourth quarter and knocked down, what, 2, 3, 4 three-pointers in a row?
Yep, and then we had the timeout in the fourth quarter. Where nothing came of the timeout. Of course, we went to the free throw line. We missed the free throw. They come down. They hit a basket. So stoppages of play were not beneficial to us today.
And during that timeout, Andre was asking the guys, wasn't he, to drive to the basket. And perhaps the only person we saw doing that was Carl Brown.
You know, that's the only guy, you know, who had the consciousness of getting it, going to the basket here. Here he reads the floor. He delays it, moves the ball to Deppers. He doesn't see a shot. He's picked up here. We move the ball back around to Carl. He reads the floor. He goes to the basket, trying to make some things happen. You know, I thought he did his job out there, which he was supposed to do as a floor leader, and I thought James Hamilton would have been the next guy who I thought played the type of game that we needed to have from him.
James was sat down for a little while there during the fourth quarter, but as you say, he played a big game.
Foul trouble, you know, was the major reason why we had to sit him down. But I thought he came in, he rebounded, he filled the lane, he hit the shots, he did what he needed to do, something that we've been looking for him to do on a more consistent basis. But I thought he had a very good basketball game tonight.
Well, Tony Dorsey, 30 points for him this evening, so that's a pretty impressive display. And like everybody else, it seems, on the Birmingham team, he had no trouble shooting from the perimeter, Mike.
Yeah, Tony, one of the things I think that a lot of defenses say when they're guarding Tony Dorsey is you got to try and keep it out of his hands when he's 12 feet and in, because he's just such an effective scorer when he gets the ball with his back to the basket. But the thing that they forget is that he's also a very good three-point shooter. Now, he started off the season shooting like in the high 29 or in the high 20 percentage. He really couldn't find his rhythm from the three-point line. And in about the last 10 games, his percentage from the three-point line has really picked up.
And Mike, he only actually missed one attempt from the field this evening, Tony Dorsey.
He had a game like that about 2 weeks ago. I think it was against Watford, where he was like 11 to 12 from the field. You know, and I think a lot of that is got to be given credit to the rest of our team. We are passing the ball much better at this point in the season than we were, say, 6 weeks ago. We're playing exceptional team basketball, and Tony is passing the ball better, and his teammates are in turn returning the favor, and it just ends up in guys taking higher percentage shots.
Well, it was, of course, a team effort, so let's hear from some more of the Bullets. H.L. Coleman and Reggie Kirk are talking to Suzanne.
Thanks very much, Don. It's still a great atmosphere down here courtside. The Birmingham fans cheering their players down at the other end. But HL and Reggie, great game tonight. In all honesty, how did you feel and what did you think about your new coaches? To be honest.
I thought our new coaches did a very good job, you know, during every timeout, every huddle. We talked about it as a team, which was good, and everybody put their opinion in. But when it came down to it, Coach Richard and Nigel was the one that counted, and it helped a lot.
Would you agree with that, Reggie?
Oh, yes, agree totally. Tony Dorsey and Nigel Lloyd have been our captains all year and assistant coaches, and they stepped up and made sure we was focused, and we just stayed in the game and played hard, and it worked out for us tonight.
Well, they did have, well, all of you had very good games, and particularly Dorsey and Lloyd. We were listening to the commentary. They were saying how you guys in the team were helping so much by finding Lloyd in the right place so he could put those three-pointers up.
Right, because we know he can knock it down better than anybody in the league, and if we can find him wide open with his feet set, he'll hit it every time.
Well, you weren't afraid, were they, of putting the three-pointers up?
No, we're never afraid of it, and for a funny reason, I don't know why. They was kind of shading off of us and playing it tight in the post. I mean, in the paint, playing a lot on Tony Dorsey, which gave a lot of three-point opportunities for myself and Nigel Lloyd. And So Nigel told me early on, don't stop shooting, and I had to tell him the same thing, don't stop shooting, and it worked out for us.
It certainly did. We know that the Towers are a bigger team than you guys inside, but you coped with that very well tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to play with a little hard and try to, outwork your man with a little more desire, and fortunately it worked out well for us tonight.
Reggie, what do you guys think, or what did you think when you saw Danny Lewis put that ball up from way back down here on the other end of the court and got the 2 points? 3 points. It really should have been a 6-pointer, shouldn't it?
Well, you have to ask HL about that, because I was on the bench at the time, and I didn't want to look up because I felt something like that could happen. And I heard the crowd, and that's all I seen. I didn't see it go in or nothing. I just heard the crowd. So you have to ask HL.
You certainly saw it go in there, didn't you, HL?
Yes, when we got down in the huddle and we said, if that's what it's going to take for them to beat us, well, that's what they're going to have to do. A shot like that is what's going to take for them to beat us.
Well, it got them back in the game, but not quite. You beat them by 6 points. Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you very much. And I want to say hello to Adam's parents in Gibraltar.
You did. Thanks, Dom.
So a happy bunch of bullets, and here are the match facts for you. And 21 points, I suppose, between them in terms of three-point shooting, Kevin?
It's, that was a big category for them, the three-pointers. Free throws, the percentages, are pretty equal throughout the game. But I think the two-pointers, they did a pretty good job for Birmingham compared to our 45%.
Let's take a look at the situation on the boards. And Mike, you were complaining that was perhaps the weakest part of your game tonight.
Yeah, and the stats are going to reveal that very evidently. Only 7 offensive rebounds for us, and the Towers were able to double that up on us and get 14. And we had a goal to start the basketball game to try and hold London to under 10 offensive rebounds and actually do the reverse of what it was. We wanted to get 15 ourselves, and so we definitely did not accomplish our goal in that area, but we were able to do some things in other areas that allowed us to win a basketball game.
Kevin, you were generally happy with Towers' performance on the boards?
I'd have to say that, that I was. 36 or 46 rebounds. We win by a decent margin, 14 offensive rebounds. We do a good job. We didn't do a good job of finishing once we secured the offensive rebound. But I would have to say, when I looked at the second page of stats, was that everything on there was a positive for us, but we just didn't get it done enough. We just didn't do and play hard enough in the game of basketball today.
And Kevin, I'm sure Andre is going to be disappointed with the fact that he's coached this game and the Towers have lost it. What do you think he'll learn though from tonight?
It was an opportunity to to get the spotlight, to get his recognition that he so much deserves. I think he'll go back and look and see, which I always do. You always look at games, you always wonder, should I have done this, should I have done that? But he can look back and say, maybe if I made this adjustment, but it is what it is. You have to deal with it like that and just soul search that for next time that I get in that situation, I have to be able to react to situations a little bit better and maybe go with your instincts a little bit. When you're out there, there's certain instincts that hit you and you go, I need to go with that. And sometimes if you're not used to listening to those instincts, you're a little slower as far as making the adjustments. And it's one of those things that in time, he has the possibility to be a great basketball coach.
Mike, you've now wrapped up the head-to-head series against the London Towers, which not too many clubs will do this season. I think Sheffield have done it and Newcastle have done it already. But how important is that from Birmingham's point of view?
Well, it's important to be able to win the 2 out of 3, and we certainly we have one more basketball game in this very arena. It's our last game of the season, and so that's going to be an absolutely phenomenal battle. And so, but to win 2 out of the 3 is important. If you would end up in a tie situation, obviously, then the position goes to the team that won the 2 out of 3.
Right, well, let's take a look at some of the other games that were being played tonight. Chester against Thames Valley, well, that tipped off at 7:30, so we'll update you if we can on what the score is there, or maybe we won't. But Crystal Palace, anyway, lost out to the Leopards, so they're still on 5 losses. Leicester went down to the Newcastle Eagles, and Sheffield beat the Giants by 103 points to 88. Sheffield, of course, also in the mix for the league title. So the table looks like this now. And obviously we're looking towards the top. Kevin, I'll ask you now, how many teams do you think can win the title?
You got to right now be looking at 3 teams. The Leopards, Birmingham, and Sheffield. But, thing is, which I was saying, that, we're going to help determine that because we play each one of these teams. As a matter of fact, we play all 3 of them at our place, you know, in the last couple of weeks of the season. So,
and you meet Birmingham on the last day again?
We meet Birmingham the last day. The second last weekend, we play the Sharks, and then just before that, we have the Leopards. So, you know, we have all 3 teams coming in here, and, you know, we're going to have some say. We might not get it, but we're going to help to determine who does.
Mike, I'm told that Birmingham have never actually finished above the Towers in the table, but you must be feeling pretty confident of doing that now.
I don't know if I'd go that far. There's still 10 games left in the season, and an awfully lot of strange things can happen.
But you're in a great position.
We're in a good position right now. We're even on losses with the Leopards. You know, the Leopards are playing extremely good basketball right now. I saw them win in overtime against Newcastle the other evening, and I all but thought Newcastle had that basketball game won, but the Leopards just continue to battle. They're playing together. They're an awfully good team right now and a difficult team to beat right now.
Well, Kevin, earlier in the program, when we heard from Nigel, when he was talking about the possibility of standing in as a coach, he said that Birmingham nowadays are going out there and they believe in themselves. Do you think this is a side who believe they can win the title?
I would have to think so. I mean, they've been in the race the entire season from day one. You know, they've been the team that's been in the top 3 positions. So I would think that, you know, after time, you know, you get off to a good start. After time, you look at yourselves and you see we're still in there. We're still in there with an excellent fight. We still have some, you know, some tough games that we have to play. But I think, you know, when you get them riding on momentum, and I think that's what they had early in the season. They dropped off a little bit. Maybe the momentum is coming back for Birmingham. He said Dorsey is finding his eye. You know, when the big game players, they show up at the end of the season. This is the important time. And this is the time, you know, you find out what people are made up of.
Now, we've got some big basketball weekends coming up for you on Sky Sports. We have the Uniball Trophy final, but we also have the All-Star game for you on the 22nd of March. That's tied in with the Budweiser League game between Birmingham and Sheffield. And the players are going to be picked by a star ratings system. We've told you about this in previous weeks, but here's a reminder of it. We have players from the North Pool, and there is the top 10. And these are the changes of this week. Jaron Boone stays at number 1. John Amici is up to number 2 as Robert Churchwell slips back. Remember, it's the top 10 players, so those players at the moment would go through, plus 2 who the coaches will pick, and Will Johnson there, a new entry at 13 in the North Pool, and I suppose 11, 12, 13, 14, they've got to be looking to jump into the top 10. Let's take a look at the players in the South Pool. And Mike, Tony Dorsey is up there for you.
Yeah, Tony's obviously one of the best basketball players in the league, and really his game has really been improving of late as well, and finds himself at the top of the rating right now.
And Kevin, Keith Robinson just slipping in there at number 10.
Yeah, it's you know, it's still a system that I've yet to figure out how it works, and you know, do these guys get points for winning and losing, or just a point system just for showing up and getting statistics? You know, there's a few guys that I look at in this, you know, in this second unit that just as well could end up in that top 10.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're giving you a chance to pick the coaches for this game. Remember, they get 2 picks of wildcard picks of players as well. Here are the coaches from the North to choose from. Mike Burton did it last year from Chester. You've got Jeff Jones in charge at Derby at the moment, Bob Donowell, Jim Brandon, Craig Lynch, and Chris Finch, who's having a great rookie season at the Sheffield Sharks. And from the South, you can pick either of the 2 gentlemen with us tonight, Mike or Kevin, or Billy Mims perhaps from the Leopards. Graham Hill at Crystal Palace, Paul James having a good season as well with the Thames Valley Tigers, Vince McCauley-Razak and Owen Peck at the Worthing Bears. All you have to do to enter the competition is put down 1 coach from the North and 1 coach from the South on a postcard. And you can send your entries to All-Star Coaches, Basketball, P.O. Box 232, Middlesex TW7, 5QD. And whilst you're writing that down, let me just tell you that we will pick one of the entries out of a hat, and the lucky family will get a great day out with us at the All-Star game. Remember, your entries have to arrive with us by Monday, March the 2nd. So that's a great weekend to look forward to. Let's just recap on this evening, though. Kevin, where does this leave the London Towers?
You know, it leaves us, you know, fighting in the pack. We still have to get position for the playoffs. You want home court advantage in it. You know, in the league, it's going to be a very tough proposition. You know, it's best for us to look at it realistically. But we still have to get on track. You know, we have not been able this season to put together a string of runs, and we have to at some stage get a string of runs going, and right now there's no better time.
Mike, do you believe now that you can win this title?
Most definitely, and we've talked about it as a team. As a team, we expect to win. We are expecting to be the league champions, knowing full well the tremendous effort that is going to take. And I think Kevin hit the nail right on the head. It's about runs, and we started the season with winning 9 games in a row in the league, and we've won our last 4 now as well. And so hopefully that's going to continue on through. And I think the team that is able to do that, as Kevin said, the team that's able to get on a run in terms of wins is going to be the one that wins the league.
Yeah, well, Sheffield Sharks also in the mix, of course, for the league title, and they come up against the London Towers in the trophy final in a couple of weeks' time. Kevin, what are your thoughts on that one?
You know, it's going to be a tough game. We're the defending champions. We have to get ourselves ready to go out there and win it. There's a trophy that, basically we don't have to focus on the league anymore. So it's a trophy that we can put our 100% focus on and try to pursue it with the utmost urgency.
Do you need this win in the trophy to rescue something from your season?
I would think so. Every year you put it out on the line and you look at your group and you say, potentially this is what I have. And sometimes you reach that potential and sometimes you don't. So, it's still a long time to go in the season, but, trophies is what it's all about.
Okay, Kevin, thanks very much. Mike Finger, thanks very much for being with us tonight. It's been a slightly unusual evening, hasn't it, to be joined by the coaches. As we say, we think it's the first time it's ever happened in British basketball. It turned out to be Birmingham's night. They were certainly on target, the Bullets. Everything they went for, they seemed to get. Hope you enjoyed it back at home. Don't forget, we'll be back with the trophy final in 2 weeks' time. From us for now, bye-bye.